Alright, folks, welcome to episode 4 of the Inquisition. You're all well today? I'll try my best to get through this. Got a bit of man flu. We'll see what happens. No, glorious day in Donegal. Hi, Simon. I sent you an invite there. That's it. Hi, Richard. Every week. Should have actually used my laptop this week. Hello, old guy and a brush.
Oh, I can't see you again.
That's I can actually see you, so that's actually not too bad. How are you, mate?
Going well. Are you on the PC this time or on the phone?
Sorry?
Are you on the PC or on your phone this time? You said you might go on PC last time.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. I'll try and get on the laptop next week. I was so close to actually just asking you and fucking Fanny Balls to fucking do it this week because I'm fucking dying, man.
Fanny balls. What's up? What's been up?
Oh,
All right, and
I've just got a cold, man. That's it. Hello, everybody.
You got man flu. Hello, little
Yeah.
people. Hello, Luke. Hello, Dasmore. My invitation expired, but I'm here, so don't mind.
Wonder what you think Casey's been allowed to come on this week?
What time is it? Oh, it's only 7:30. You don't expect it to be on. Oh, he's here now.
Oh, here we go.
With Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob Bobbington joined with him.
Hello, Bob. Bobbington.
Well, I get Casey on, and then we're just waiting on Nymph, aren't we?
Yeah.
She doesn't know it's 7:30 UK, not 7:30 European, where she is.
Well, she does know that. Just like they're an hour ahead, so like she should know.
I thought she might have learned her an hour ago and thought we'd let me in, twats. I can't let you in. The only Dunk can. Oh, she's here now.
Again.
She's here now. Excuse us, folks, for having technical difficulties. It is us, though. I don't think we've had a stream where we haven't. So
I think the only stream we haven't is when Penge wasn't actually here.
yeah, the only time it's worked is when Casey wasn't here.
Hi,
Hi.
See, now I can't see anyone apart from myself. This is a bit disconcerting.
I can see actually both of you just now, so it's actually a lot better for me.
Yeah, I can see at least 2 of you, so I don't think Penge is in.
So it's not the first time I said that to Penge.
Did you see the view count drop when you made that joke then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see anyone. I'm just looking at myself.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
you hear us okay?
Yeah, it's fine. I was just wondering because I don't have any like extra microphone or anything, so it's just like the phone.
I'm pressing accept, Penge. I don't know why it's not letting you in.
Because it's Penge.
Wait, I've sent you in right now, so you try and accept that. You're clown.
See,
how are you,
Nan? It doesn't even show for me that anyone but me and Dunk are in here.
How are you, Nymph?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I never joined a live before, so I'm like, how's it working?
Oh,
hey, I see someone now.
Casey's turned his video on, but I still can't see anyone.
Hi.
They're rude. Fuck you both. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
I can't see
Everybody.
anyone. It's just me.
Oh,
I can see everybody, so that's good.
Well,
Yeah,
you, I
me
can't
too.
see anyone.
You can't
So, what were you saying earlier that it never works when I'm about? Maybe you're the problem.
That wasn't the problem when you weren't here. Worked fine when you weren't here. Went really well when you weren't here. Why are you here?
Hello,
Told you I'm
all the way from Central
translating.
Chest. So I just want to say thank you for accepting our invite to come on this week, Nymph. So just to ask you, can you just tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, what you paint, and how long you've been doing your hobby?
Oh, wow, that's a lot of questions. Yeah, so I'm from Denmark, so I might struggle a little bit with some of the words. So please bear with me. And if there's something you don't understand what I'm saying, please let me know. So yeah, so I paint Warhammer. I don't play the game. I don't play 40K or Age of Sigmar. I just paint because why do I paint? Just like to be creative, I guess. If that makes any sense.
And what is it that you paint? Is it 40K or is it a bit of Age of Sigmar or whatever tickles your fancy?
Actually, I paint both. I paint both Age of Sigmar models, and I also paint some 40K models. I think the majority of the models I do own is Age of Sigmar, though. But I think that's because of the army choices I've made. Because I primarily paint Nurgle models, Slanesh, and Sylvanas. So they're quite Age of Sigmar. But I do like 40K as well.
And how long have you been painting for?
Oh, I started just about the start of 2020. I got my models just before COVID hit, literally just before. I think it was the Christmas of 2019. It was super good timing.
Yeah.
I received 2 boxes of miniatures, and actually I hadn't really opened them or done anything with it. I got some brushes as well, and I was like, oh, well, maybe in the future. And then kind of COVID hit and everything was just locked down, and it was like, oh, well, I might as well try. So I got started.
And what made you get into the hobby? What inspired you to pick up, to start doing Warhammer painting?
Well, I actually always really liked to be creative and painting and drawing. I mean, I always done on paper or canvas, but I am a massive nerd, as you might already have guessed. So I really like the fantasy universe and sci-fi and these kind of things. And I'm also a computer gamer, so I kind of knew about Warhammer, about the Warhammer world, the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I used to play, it's a really old game. It's like Warhammer Fantasy Online. So, and that was really cool. I really loved it. And it was such a great game.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Yeah. And then I kind of heard more about Warhammer through friends and so on, about painting. And then I got those 2 models. I got the Glockcan and the Beast of Nurgle, because, well, Nurgle. And yeah, then I thought, okay, well, I'll give it a go. And I actually really enjoyed it because it kind of combines. I really like the art, be creative, painting, And it combined it with my nerdy side, with just like totally geeking out and getting into this this crazy fantasy world. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how I delved into this, and I'm completely addicted to it. So I don't know if that's good or bad.
And from my perspective, it's a hobby that's dominated by a lot of males. So when you first started, was there a lot of females that you followed, or was it males and then you slowly found females that helped you or helped inspire you?
Well, I mean, there are quite a few female painters and they also play and so on, but I can definitely see it is male dominated, but it doesn't really bother me. I don't really care if the artist I'm following is a guy or a girl. It doesn't really make a big difference to me. But of course I can see this. It's further between the guys and the girls.
But from when you started to now, have you seen a lot more girls getting into the hobby?
It seems like it, but that's mainly what I hear. I do hear that there's more women joining, but I'm still fairly new to the hobby, so I don't think I have that much experience to actually say if it's really changing or not. But I always found that whenever I go to a store or go to like a hobby event or anything, people are so helpful, so friendly, so inclusive. So I never really found that there's any gatekeeping. So it makes sense to me that more women wants to join, because, you know, it doesn't matter if you are a guy or a girl, you are equally welcome.
I mean, that's always refreshing to hear. Mm-hmm. And what's the community like in Denmark? Is it a big community, or is it still quite niche and quite small?
There is quite a few people that do paint. There is quite a few big Danish painters that are also followed. But unfortunately, the only like Warhammer store, the actual Warhammer store, is in Copenhagen. So you have to go quite far if you're not from Copenhagen. Mm-hmm. So you have to rely on smaller hobby stores or like your local community if you want to like hang out with people. And unfortunately, where I am, there's not a lot. That's a bit sad. But I think there's going to be more and more as the hobby grows. It seems like it's growing anyways. The more people have rekindled their love for painting models, whether they want to play or not.
Kate,
I must say,
he's got sweets.
Yeah, I must say, it was very inconspicuous. It wasn't very inconspicuous, you trying to lift that bag over your camera. We've all seen it, mate.
Yeah, so
scared and scared.
Eating something out the corner of my eye, and then this big pink and white bag comes across.
Yeah, I was at a work thing.
Sponsored by Mr. Smith's Corner Shop today. That's what it is.
I was at a work thing on Monday, and one of the promotional guys had a load of pickaments, so I raided it. But yeah, sorry, I thought I was a bit. It was the milk bottles. I saw a milk bottle, and I was like, "Oh, I've got to have it."
Yeah, you went sort of little.
No,
you're making
and now I've got
the rest of us hungry.
Yeah,
sorry. I have just had my dinner as well, so I shouldn't really be eating sweets as well. But the boys gone to bed, so I'll eat them now. I'm going to jump in with a couple of questions.
Oh dear.
No, don't say no, dear. It's fine. So, little do a lot of people out there know that we've actually got something in common, and you know, you knew this was going to come up. I live in Penge in South London. You lived not far away from me in South London for a period of time. Yeah. Not that we ever knew each other outside of this. We probably walked past each other in the street, never even realised.
I walked past you in Sainsbury's and didn't even know it.
Yeah. So
Casey doesn't shop in Sainsbury's. He can't afford Sainsbury's.
Mate, I'm sure he's bad.
Don't you know Sainsbury's is now like on par with Aldi? It's the second
Now,
cheapest supermarket nowadays. Yeah, yes. But when you were over here in my glorious little corner of southeast London,
yeah.
did you ever have any sort of interest in the hobby then, or like any sort of painting,
Oh,
workshop, that sort of
sure,
stuff?
yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's more or less where I was when the whole thing started. I was trapped in a flat there. So,
Mm.
yeah. It was like, yeah, you can now only leave your flat once a day because of COVID. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, brilliant. So what am I gonna do in a flat? Um, so yeah, so that was basically what I did. I started opening my boxes, started assembling things, and then got started painting.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, it's
So,
nothing glorious about London, Casey Jack says.
so
hey,
obviously, like moving from Denmark to London, getting involved in the hobby, going back to your corner of the world in Denmark, how would, like, I know you were saying that outside of Copenhagen, it's quite very sort of tougher, I would say, harder to get a hold of
yeah.
stuff. And that's obviously the internet plays a massive help there in ordering stuff and,
Oh,
getting your bits that you need. But
I mean, most of the things I do get, it's either ordered online or I go to the most local store there is for me. I mean, it's not like I'm living completely far away from everything.
yeah,
There's a store, but it is a 30 minutes drive. And if they don't have the things in stock, then it's like, oh, well, So, of course, a lot of it
Like
is
again,
online.
mhm,
But it
sure.
was definitely a little bit easier when I was living over there because there was just so many stores and
Mhm.
I mean the local one was not far away in Bromley,
Yeah,
so it was like pretty cool, pretty close.
yeah.
Um, and there used to be that store next to it called Warble, and they had
Yeah,
like everything, not just Warhammer, but like everything. It
yeah,
was amazing.
yeah.
And then that
Warball.
closed. I was like, oh shit.
That's really why you left, wasn't it? But
Yeah, I was like, oh no, that's it. I'm out of here.
so I'm gonna
So
go off. Go
how
on then.
long did you live? How long did you live in London for then?
About 3 years. So very short little trip.
It's all you need, though, really, isn't it? You don't need to stay in London any longer than that.
3 days,
I mean,
nothing for me. I
Well,
just want to get out
yeah,
after 3 days. Well, in 3 years.
I say
I
that I'm
don't
about to have lived
know.
here
I
for
mean,
40. But
it's kind of nice in a way because, well, in London is cool. They've got everything. And now I'm like in the far countryside in Denmark where there's like nothing. So it's quite a big change, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think I like both, but now I tried London. Well, that's it.
yeah, that's it. So there was one other. I'm going to venture off the topic of hobby for a little bit, and I have to ask this because it's something that annoys the hell out of me when I have to do it. You post a lot of pictures of your garden, and you seem to take a lot of pride in gardening as a hobby, which for me, I'm sorry,
And your
like,
garden is massive.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're. Is that like your other little sort of hobby private space you go off and that's how you get creative there?
Yeah, I do. Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you just
wasn't
bring
getting
it back
into
down to
fences.
fences. Now tell me about your fence, Nymph. Tell me about your fence.
Yeah,
What kind of
well, I
fence have you got
probably
around your
need to take,
garden?
do I need to take you on a tour in my garden so you can see my fences?
He just wants to see your fence. He's got no interest
Really,
in the garden.
show us your woodwork. That's it. So,
Yeah.
obviously, you do on yeah. Going back to your painting and everything, I would say that I've noticed that when you do the sort of bigger projects, you go for like the bigger models that take a bit more time. How long on average do you spend on one model?
Half a lifetime. It is just, I mean, I'm the slowest painter you will ever find. But, I mean, for me, painting is not, it's not a competition. It's not work. It's not it's not something I need to do fast. There's no deadline. I do it because I like being creative, and for me it's some sort of way to unwind after a long day, workout, shopping, all these kind of things. I just want to sit down and delve into my own little world where it's just creativity, colors, fantasy, sci-fi. So I take my time. I really, really do. I spend months on a miniature because I work out the color scheme. I figure out which paints do I want to use, which colors goes with what. And I don't really know that much yet about painting models. So I also research a whole lot of techniques, like how do you paint gems? And then I have to test it out and see what it works for me and with different colors. So that takes a lot of time, but I truly enjoy it. So quite
just slaps a big brush on that.
And
get it done in 30 seconds. Yeah.
And do you do one model at a time, or do you have maybe 2 or 3 models and you go back and forth between the models?
I usually have a side project, because for example, at the moment I'm painting Alariel, and that's a lot of the same colors, like green and brown and blue and so on. And then I get fed up with using the same colors. I'm like, oh my God, one more green bottle of paint and I will vomit. So I need something else. So I also have a side project with some completely different colors, a different theme. It kind of makes me feel like, okay, now I'll put Alariel on hold. I'll do something different, and I'll come back to her with fresh kind of mind. It kind of helps me a little bit.
Sorry. Just pick up some of the chat, because we've had some chat. Inferior Miniature said Spence Love. There we go. Delta X says trusting to talk about gardening. Apparently you still paint faster than Bob Bobbington.
Bob.
I don't know how to say that. I think it's Bartolomeus says cheers from Hungary. Cheers to Hungary as well.
Hey.
See, we're going multinational now. Multinational now. We're taking off. And that's it. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to catch up with the chat. Carry on. Sorry.
No. Please do. If there's any questions, please ask them.
So what attracts you to the Slanesh and Nurgle models? Why particularly them?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna ask something about that. And how do you explain that? Oh my God. Slanesh, sex, drug, rock and roll. I don't know. Who doesn't like that? Actually, I received a huh?
Casey hates Slanesh.
I'm all right with most of that, just not just Slanesh.
Well, actually, I started painting Nurgle, and I loved it because it was messy, it was gross, and it was just disgusting. And it could be however messy I wanted it to be. Or just slap the paint on. Yeah, it's fine. So, and then I got a box of I think it's Start Collecting box or Vanguard or whatever they're called, with Slanesh, like the old one with the demonettes and the chariot and so on. And it was very different. It was that was complete palette change. Mm-hmm. I started painting a few of the demonettes, and at the same time I was listening to the audiobook Fulgrim of the Horus Heresy. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. I thought that was so amazing. And it's all about Slanesh and, crazy things.
Is he a nonce?
Obsession.
That's what we want to know. Do you think he's a nonce?
Oh, yeah.
Case. There you go.
It doesn't, anything goes. Anything goes. Definitely.
That's not a good thing sometimes.
So we have got a question from the chat, which is sort of related to what you're talking about. Jack says, what's your favourite model you've painted so far?
Ooh. My favourite? Wow. Actually, I think my Keeper Secrets is probably the one I was most excited about. because it was such a big model. And I think it was the first really big model I got to paint after the Glocken. And I was like, I've been looking at this Keeper's Secret for like forever. I was like, oh yeah, no, I'll buy it. And like, oh yeah, maybe next time. And I finally got around to get it. I was like, okay, this is a big project. And I really love painting it. There's so much details and it's so pretty. I mean, it's grotesque, but it's pretty. And well, I'm a girl. I like pink and purple and gold and bling. So what not to like?
Dasmore's Nurgle for life. Jack says Casey is sex, drug and fences. Casey put himself in the chat and said fences, fences and fences.
Yep.
So, yeah, that brings us on what Daz said. By the way, when we get Daz on, we need to talk about Daz's Nurgle Gargants because they are excellent. But that brings us on to the difference, like Casey's, I think it was Dunk just said, the difference between, there's a big difference between Nurgle and Slaanesh. So why Nurgle? We know why Slaanesh, why Nurgle?
Yeah, that was it's a bit silly because that's actually the first models I got. Besides my really, really ancient wood elves that's not even there anymore. Yeah, I painted ponies, so don't talk about that. But yeah, so Nurgle is just, they're just bizarre, grotesque, and yet they're so funny. I mean, I find them quite hilarious. Those Nurglings just makes me giggle, and the way they're just gross and nasty with the blood and guts spilling out, I think it's fantastic. And I know that's really weird. I know that's a really weird obsession to have. But seriously, it's so funny and it's so nasty, and I just can't help but loving it.
There is something cute about Nurglings. I think everybody deep down wants to have a Nurgling. I mean, they'd be the ideal pet. They're going to throw poop at you, but it's cute, in my opinion.
And they might drip some entrails on your carpet and stuff, but otherwise it's fine.
That's fine.
Like Dad said, all they want is hugs, which is true.
So I see here that you've got a hand tattoo. Are you covered in tattoos? Are you a big tattoo person yourself? Do you have many tattoos?
Yeah.
I don't know where
A few? Yeah, I got my hands and my arm and my wrist and my yeah.
And your what? My hands and my wrist and my. I didn't go there.
You actually did.
Let's leave
No,
that
you started it.
There you go. When was the last time you got a tattoo? Like, do you get yourself tattooed often? Like, I'm booked in now. I've not had a tattoo in about a year. So my next tattoo I'm getting is in November. I'm getting actually 4 Nurglings done. And I'm halfway through them this now. So, how often do you get tattooed? Sorry.
Well, I think it's January 2 years ago since I got my rose on my hand. And no, I do not get tattooed nearly enough. It's quite addicting. It's I want another and I want another, and I don't know. I have been thinking about, okay, maybe for Christmas or maybe for my birthday, or I don't know. I really want another one, but it's just more wants more, and I need to kind of keep myself a bit in control. Otherwise I'll just end up being completely covered. So,
what about you? What about you two numpties? Have you got tattoos?
No.
What?
I am a blank canvas.
Oh my god! I've got a death guard in the back of my right calf, and I've got 2 Nurglings on my left leg. I'm going to get another 2, hopefully by February next year. I've got a Star Wars tattoo. I've got a Eye of Horus. I've got a good few, man.
You better show some pictures then when you get your new one. Yeah.
You know what? I've always wanted one. I have always, for the longest time, wanted one, but there's just too many things I would like to get. And I think because I've never been able to nail one down, I've just sort of thought, no, and because I know what'll happen, I'll get it. It'll not look like what I want it to. And instantly I'll just think, oh, that looks shit. And I will just want it off my body as soon as. So that's why I've just never really bothered. My girlfriend's got a couple. But yeah, for me, it's just, you know what? I'm also don't like needles. I'm going to be out there and honest with that. It's not so much like the thought of the needles, they're horrible, but it's just this weird thought that someone is stabbing me. That's what it is. It's just this weird. I don't go to like, oh, I don't like the little feel of it. It's like, no, someone is just stabbing me repeatedly. And
should be used to that living in the East End of London, though, shouldn't you?
Southeast of London. Yeah, I should be, because it is a nice capital of London. But at the same time, you know what? Ages ago, I had some blood taken, right? And I gave the guy my arm, and I was like, right, off you go, do your thing. And I looked away. He's popped the needle in, stuck the line in, and then he's plugged the little vial into my arm. And I was quite happy to sit there and watch blood come out of myself to be collected and sent away. And he's watching me, he's like, surely that's the worst bit. I was like, no, seeing you stab me with a needle is the worst bit. I don't care if I'm bleeding. That's fine. And that's the end result.
We started off the whole thing in chat now, so we need to catch up because chat's have gone mental. So we've got.
I just want to say quickly, right? There's no way, Richard, that tattoo says courage. You need to go to an actual Chinese person and ask them what the tattoo says. There's no way that says courage.
Let's get to that because people won't know what we're talking about. So. Benjamin, shouldn't you guys be painting? Yes, probably. Having 5 kids and having been through a couple of kindergarten viruses, Nagel doesn't seem that weird anymore.
No, he's right. No.
He's right. 5 kids, the fear. Daz says, I'm putting on weight to make more room for tattoos.
Yep.
As good as an excuse for any. Then he says, joke, don't believe you. Inferno Mini says, I've got one to hide from my mum when I was 16, Chinese symbol for courage. That's the one Dunk was referring to. Yeah, you could just have like Peking duck. Across your or number 2
soup or something. Oh dear.
Should get a Chinese symbol for irony next to it. Yay! I've got a small. Josh has got a small angel's emblem on his back.
So basically,
and then it's
he's got a tramp stamp. That's what he's got.
On Josh. Well, we know he's a bit kinky. We've had a big talk to him before. And then Inferno says it means northern mug in English. So there we go. Sorry, it just went a bit mental when you started talking about tattoos. What a hot topic that was.
But tattoos. I mean, my wife's got a good few tattoos as well, and it is so addictive. Like it doesn't hurt really, and it's so therapeutic. Like,
yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, I know. I really know. I definitely want to get more, but it's also like where and what, but yeah, I tend to just go for it if I don't keep myself in check. So just gonna put anything like everywhere. Oh dear.
Ferner's got the Green Lantern ring on his wrong finger. He can be banned from the neighborhood for that. And then Josh says it's a Blood Angels tattoo, not an Angels tattoo.
Ooh, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Big Blood Angels tramp stamp. That's what he's got.
It's still a tramp stamp. If it's on your back, it's a tramp stamp, mate.
His wife, the black rage when she sees it. Hey!
Yeah, I should just get a fence tattooed on me somewhere. That's probably what I'll end up getting. I'll get a fence on my arm there.
Oh,
just dedicate it to all of you lot.
I would happily chip in for that. I'm too tight for that, to be honest with you. So, back to yourself then. Like, would you like to learn to play Warhammer or tabletop games, or is it just the painting that you're interested in?
I would really, really like to learn, but apparently I'm hopeless at it. I mean, I really tried. I did. I tried to do just to try and learn the rules for 40k, because apparently that should be easier than Age of Sigmar or something. I don't know. So I'm told. I don't know. But I just can't get my head around the rules and the dice and all the numbers. It's just, oh God, no. I'm hopeless. I need someone with a lot of patience to teach me because I am a blonde. I don't learn well.
So that leads me into the weekly plug. So if you're ever in Leek, Staffordshire, you should come to Boltstorm Wargaming in Bucking Square, where they teach lots and lots of different games. And Cooper and Ant are very, very patient people. Also, I'm there most weeks. There we go. They're not even in chat and I'm plugging them, for God's sake. Right, carry on.
Oh my God, every week we get this, every week. And we get nothing out of this, Penge. That's the thing, we get nothing out of this.
Yeah, you know, I did apart from they let me go in.
Yeah.
Well, then
But it
you're
was
getting something
fine.
into it. So tell me this, Nim, if you had to pick between two things, what would it be? Danish pastries or Danish bacon? If you could only keep
Pastries.
one, yeah, the pastries are
Pastries.
nice.
Definitely pastries. Yeah. I
And
love sweet things.
and see when you're painting, like, what do you typically do when you're painting? Are you like watching a TV show, you're listening to music, or you listen to some Swedish sadomasochism music or something?
Well, it varies a lot actually. Kind of depends on my mood. Sometimes I just put on some music and just get lost in focusing on painting. Sometimes when I'm painting something that doesn't require too much brain power, then I listen to a podcast or some audiobooks. And I mean, there's so many audiobooks now that you can get available. So it's pretty cool because it's like doing two things at once, like two birds with a stone. So that's pretty awesome.
And see when you listen to the audiobooks, right? Do you listen to it in Danish or do you listen to it in English?
Both.
Both.
It depends what's available. I mean, I would really like to listen to some of the audiobooks in English because sometimes I feel like the translation, it can lose a little bit. And I really wanted to listen to the Witcher series, but I feel like they're completely butchering the names of the people and the areas. And it's like, oh my God, I can't listen to that. They're just absolutely butchering it. And no, so sometimes it's not so cool listening to the books in Danish. So if I could get them more available in English, that would be really good. But
isn't the author of the Witcher books from, is it Norway? Scandinavian, isn't he? I think.
Oh, Poland.
Oh my
Poland.
God.
It's wrong. Just a bit wrong.
Oh.
I knew he wasn't English.
Narrows it down a bit. He isn't English.
He wasn't American. I knew he was from Europe. I was going in the right direction, just didn't go far enough east. That's what it was.
Yeah, further east and south.
Yeah.
A bit off there.
But I'm going to shut up now. I just knew he wasn't English. Sorry.
Fair enough.
You said at the start that you're a bit of a computer game nerd as well. Like, what typically do you computer games are you into? Like, what's your genre in computer games?
Oh, well, I've been absolutely addicted to playing MMOs. I love the whole guild and going raiding and doing dungeons. And I played, I don't know if you know it, because it's kind of like, it's not so popular anymore, and I don't think it ever really been, but Age of Conan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
That's me.
That was amazing. I played it for years and years and years. And at the end, it was like, okay, so I done it all. What now? So it's like, okay, so there's nothing more for me to do because they didn't release any more content. And I was like, oh, okay, so then I find something else to do. So I tried some other MMOs, but I think my hardcore raiding days are over. It just takes so much time. It's like having a second job. I can't do that. It stresses me out. So I think for now, I'll just chill. So I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online. Just completely chilling, just doing questing, a few dungeons. And they got, okay, this is really geeky, but they got like, you can have your own house. You can build your own furniture. Yeah, I know. I am the nerdiest nerd you'll ever meet.
It sounds as like it's more World of Warcraft meets Animal Crossing at the same time. So
yeah, it's kind of like, I love playing Skyrim. So it's like Skyrim MMO style. Oh yeah, sign me up. So yeah.
It's Skyrim, man. I played that for about 3 months, and you know you get that girl at the start, and she comes with you, your companion, and you can give her everything. Well, she just disappeared from me, and I couldn't find her, so I just stopped playing. And then I started playing Dark Souls, and I'm now playing Elden Ring. And I've never ever went back to Skyrim. I'll sometimes install it to see if I can find her, but I don't know where she is. And she's got all my good stuff. That's the thing. Pure raging.
A cash converters.
You fucking stole from me, man. So, Stephen, bitch.
So,
She completely went away. Oh.
Sorry. Mr. Bob Bombington said, do you listen to Barbie on repeat when you're painting Slanesh? Does he know you, Nymph? Because he says it's you that's doing it.
I'm doing what now?
You listen to Barbie Girl on repeat when painting Slanesh. I'm assuming he knows you. I'm assuming you're friends and he knows what you do.
I think it's because Barbie Girl, you know the song I'm a Barbie Girl? That's like a Danish band, so.
Oh, fair.
That's right. Aqua, Danish.
Aqua, yeah.
Aqua, yep. Old Danish band.
And
Listen to it when I was like a little tiny girl, yeah.
can anybody else name any other songs that Aqua did apart from Dr. Jones?
Oh.
If I can turn back time.
No.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could turn back time. That was Shaq.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah,
Aqua did one.
They did
Aqua did one, and it was for a film. I can't remember what the film was called, but all I remember in the music video was she was getting on and off the tube. That was it.
Okay, that eluded me apparently.
It exists. I'll find it later. I'll post it. It exists.
There you go. Bob says, I knew she'd get it. She's a smart one, isn't it? There you go. I didn't get it, I'll be honest. I didn't get it. I just thought Pink, Slanesh, Barbie. That was my connection. Sorry. But I'm not as big an Aqua fan as everybody else, apparently.
What we're learning here tonight is Simon doesn't really know much about Europe.
Yeah, he doesn't know anything about Europe really. He thinks that Poland is in Scandinavia.
I never said Poland was in Scandinavia.
That's what you alluded to.
No, I didn't.
You alluded to.
Allude to that. I just got where the author of The Witcher was so wrong. That's a bit different.
Bad at geography as well, so.
And this is the last
where
international
Poland
guest
is. I just didn't realise the author was from there. I assumed he was from Norway. I'm very sorry.
So, if you had to pick up any model out of all like Warhammer or any other tabletop thing out there that you could paint and you'd get for free, what would it be?
Anyone? Oh my god!
Yeah,
wow, my list of to buy is so.
Well, what's the tippy top of your list that you would, if you could get it free tomorrow, because Simon's going to send you it? What would it be?
Well, I look forward to that. I recently fallen a bit in love with the dragons. I'm actually not sure. Is it the Age of Sigma ones, the big ones? You get either the red or the blue one. You can get in the box. Yeah, I can't remember the names.
Simon, that's your kind of forte. You're the kind of lore master. Does your old? What's the name of the dragons?
Don't know anything about AOS. I don't play AOS. AOS destroyed.
Josh, if you're in the chat, you might have one.
About AOS. Everyone knows my stance on AOS. I hate AOS. Why would I know anything about it?
Aww.
Did you have to understand what you hate? So I thought you'd have known all about Age of Sigmar.
I know there's two dragons. I know they're brothers. I know one looks a bit like Scar from The Lion King, and the other one looks like a blue Mustafa. Because that's all I see when I see those dragons in Warhammer World. I just see Disney because of the faces.
Well, I mean, they did get released, like 2 years ago or something, so they're not like new, but I just can't really remember their names. But yeah, I don't know. For some reason, recently, I just fancy painting a dragon. Yeah, I don't know why.
See, now they're waiting to start, because now Rob wants me to send him miniatures. Everyone thinks I'm going to send him minis now.
Oh, no. That's for sure. First one send is from me.
Yeah, it's only for them.
No one can get Eldar anymore, Rob, because they sold out because they're really good now, so it's not in stock anywhere.
There you go. Daz Moore knows the name. Karazai.
There we go. Yeah, Daz plays AOS. I don't play AOS, so yeah, he's probably better to ask than me.
Karasa. All right. I'm learning something too.
I have always thought that, I know it's not something that they do much nowadays, but back in the old Warhammer Fantasy days, the dragons always looked pretty decent. I know they had the classic ones always looked more like giant snakes with wings, but they redid them all, I think, towards maybe 6th or 7th edition fantasy. And they made them all start looking like big, huge, bulky things, which look just so much better.
Yeah.
And I think
Rich Green just said, yeah, you can get the smaller dragons, can't you? It's the Drake Guard, is it Stormcast on the back of
the
it?
Stormcast Eternal ones. They got some really nice ones too, but I want the really big ones. So
I don't know.
bigger's better. So you know.
Oh, yeah, here first. Bigger is always better, apparently.
don't start. Don't start.
That's not what Casey's message says to him to make him feel better at night.
It's not.
How big it is, Casey? It doesn't matter.
To be honest with you, she don't say much. I'll just sleep on the couch nowadays. It's fine.
So what are you currently painting this now? What? 'Cause I shared a picture that as some sort of thing that you're painting. What is it you're painting this now?
At the moment, I'm painting. Well, not right now because I'm busy talking to you lot, but painting Alariel.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, the little ever queenie lady and her very, very big beetle.
You know what?
That is
I love that beetle.
That's
massive.
cool.
I really like the beetle.
No
Oh,
colour
yeah.
shift paints on the beetle.
Sorry?
Are they colour shift paints on the beetle?
Oh dear. I don't know.
Because it seemed to change colour when you moved it. I just wondered if you were using colour shift
Oh
paints.
yeah, well, I'm trying to do some sort of iridescent kind of effect. If
Mm.
that's
No.
actually,
That's coming out really well.
you can see that because I kind of actually it was a bit funny. It's a few weeks ago, but I found a really big beetle in my garden, like a really beautiful iridescent green golden one, and I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool. Iridescent, yeah, I'm gonna go for that. Thank you so much, Mr. Beetle. So yeah, iridescent.
What would you, just where you're talking about the iridescence there, what is like, when you're painting anything, what is your one go-to technique that you know you can pull off
Ooh.
best first time, every time? So sort of like, I don't know, dry brushing,
Oh, God.
wet blending, anything like that. What do you what's a good technique for you that you really rely on quite well?
I think I don't know if I pull it off, but what I like to do the most is wet blending. I love it. It's just blending those colors together and see how they come together. Like, it's just, I don't know, there's something very satisfying about it.
Yeah.
See you later, Josh.
Yeah, so wet blending, definitely.
Yeah, I think like Richard says, I agree. Undercoating for me is the easiest thing. Just get the spray can out and blast it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Shit.
Just
Sorry,
priming.
So with your beetle there, because that looks obviously nearly done, how long have you been doing that for?
Oh God, I just started. It's nowhere near done. No. I just done like the base, like the body, the carapace of the beetle, and I'm just starting to do a bit of the plants, whatever's growing. There's some mosses and plants. So yeah, no, there's still loads. I need to highlight the body, the carapace, and it's a lot of gems and weird things. Those what are they called? Oh God, I don't know if I can pronounce it right. Soul amphore.
I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Yeah.
AOS players will know better than me how to say it, but it sounds right to me.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, Simon is our resident AOS guru. So what's the word, Simon?
Disdain. That's the word. Look at him, just pure disdain.
It's AOS. Great models, shit lore. So there you go.
Oh.
You
You don't like the game, but you like the models.
I like the models. You can't like the models. The models are all amazing. I just don't have any desire to ever play the game.
So
Fair enough.
I also said I was never going to play Warhammer 40k, but now I'm fucking playing it.
Yeah.
But they didn't kill your childhood, did they? They didn't destroy Warhammer Fantasy Battle and introduce AOS, did they? No, that's why I never play it. This
Still
time
not
it's
over that,
personal
are you?
games
There's some
workshop.
hard
It's
feelings.
personal games workshop.
How long has it been,
This is my
Simon?
wee granddaughter Mirren. She's coming to say hello.
Hello,
You guys
Mira.
saying hello to everybody?
Oh, hi. Hey there.
I don't
Your
know what
grand's
I'm
on?
waving at because I can't see Duncan.
That's our friend, yeah.
No.
So you're Zelda's on, yeah?
Sweetheart.
Yeah, that's me. That's my homework, yeah.
So, while Dunk's talking to his granddaughter there, Rich in the chat has asked, what sort of stuff have you got in your display case behind you?
Oh, oh, right, yeah. That is the very advanced lot of models I painted, sort of. Yeah, well, there's a few bits of that. I kind of tried to divide it into shelves of factions. So there's like Slanesh, and I got my Nurkles, and Sylvanas down here, and then there's just random lot at the bottom because, well,
Yeah.
whatever.
The stuff that you've tried and just thought, shove that away, no one can see it. Yeah.
Whatever. Practiced on those, forgot about them, yeah.
So he's wandered off, but I know something Dunk likes chatting about as well is just going back on to where you mentioned the audiobooks that you've listened to and stuff. From what you have listened to and read, apart from Pilgrim, which you've mentioned, what is like one of your standout real things you've really enjoyed reading or listening to?
Oh, wow. I mean, like, in the Warhammer universe, or just like in...
I'd go anywhere. Let's go Warhammer and anything outside of it. Let's do both.
Well, okay, so I think when I started the Horus Heresy, like the very first one, what's it called, Horus Rising or something, I was like, well, I'm just gonna, see what the fuss is about, because everyone, Horus Heresy, like, okay, well, whatever. Let's see what it really is about. And I was like, I knew so little about the Horus Heresy.
Mm-hmm.
And I always heard, like, okay, so Horus is the baddie. And in this story, you just get so much sympathy for him. Like, oh my god, he's a really great fucking guy. And these characters that are in the story, you kind of feel for them and feel their development. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. I am hooked now. This is a problem. So I think the first one will always have a special place in my heart, because that's the one that kind of like got me a bit interested and a bit hooked. So yeah.
And outside into sort of like fantasy, sci-fi, anything along those lines, what's been a good read or listen for you?
Oh my god. Well, the thing is, I really do enjoy lots of different types of books. I'm quite interested in fantasy, sci-fi, crime, anything goes. Books that I really, really like. Of course, I do like the Harry Potter books. I am, as I said, a massive nerd. The Harry Potter world is something I really find interesting. But something completely different. I do quite like some kind of like crime books that's really gory. Something with a lot of death and blood and, awful things. I don't know why. It's just very interesting. And crime solving, the whole like, who done it kind of, yeah. I'm a bit like murder mysteries kind of hooked as well.
Nice. Oh, I think that.
So while we were just talking, the mega super duper influencer that is Warp Cape Studios just joined the chat. Daz pointed that out. This mega influencer is here. Rich says Magnus did nothing wrong. Duncan sent a bill for that. That's a good question, actually. That's a good question, actually. If you're reading the Horus Heresy novels, do you think Magnus did anything wrong?
Oh my god. No. It's so much more than just a yes or no answer, isn't it? Because it's like, well, he kind of had good intentions, but he was so arrogant, he kind of did it in a bad way, the whole kind of... And I don't really know. It was kind of wrong and it was kind of right. I don't know.
So just on Magnus.
My own theory is Magnus is just stupid.
That
Yeah,
works.
I was like, well, I should warn them, but let me do it in the most awful, stupid way possibly. Like, yeah, not really working out for you, is it? But there we are.
So I've got a question here from Mr. Bob Bobbington. Have you any miniatures outside of Games Workshop that have caught any of your eyes?
Yeah, actually, I do. They're unfortunately still unpainted. But I got some models that, oh god, they're called, oh dear, I think they're called from Raging Heroes or something. I think they're quite niche, but I'm not sure. I just thought they were really cool. It's like the toughest girls of the galaxy, and I thought, wow, they're amazing. So I ordered a couple of those, and I never got around to paint them. So that's a bit, yeah. The
They look like quite decent range.
is expanding quite rapidly.
Well, Simon's going to do some show and tell by the looks of it.
Right, we were talking about other miniatures than Games Workshop, and Dungeons and Lasers do these dragons.
I think you have. Oh yeah. Oh.
And they do like a range of them. There's about 6 or 7, and they're only £20 each. And how much they would be in euros, but they're £20 each.
About €500.
It's another plug. Well done.
Well done. Honestly,
Ships, boys.
in answer to Bob Bobbington's question, I haven't painted anything outside of Games Workshop. I think the only thing that I would be allowed to paint outside Games Workshop would be my house, which I keep putting off.
No.
My wife's not too happy with.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. I've ventured out and I bought something off the Maker's Cult before, and they do a lot of primarily proxy 40k stuff, but they do a range of alternative like Krieg and like Steel Legion Deathcore stuff, and it has taken the sort of World War One Germans, but they've made them like World War One French as well, so that was quite cool. But they do a Patreon, which I can't be bothered signing up for Patreon. And if you've got a printer, they release loads of different files to you every month. And some of the stuff they come up with is really nice. They've got a range coming out of 40k'd up scientists from the real world. So they've got like a 40k Stephen Hawking, which you shouldn't laugh at a 40k version of Stephen Hawking, but it looked pretty fucking sick. Yeah. So yeah, I have looked at a couple of other bits, but yeah, I think Citadel models are just sort of the main thing, aren't they? They're the big one. So you sort of stick with what you know.
So that's a question for all of us about the miniatures. Well, I've just shown you the dragon I've painted. Also, Warboss Miniatures kindly sent me some free miniatures, and I painted one of those as well. I painted an ogre. That was a good miniature. So yeah, I am up for painting stuff outside of GW. If I see something that takes my fancy, and I think it'd make a nice little project, then I buy it. But the problem is at the minute I've got that much to paint that buying more plastic just seems a bit redundant right now.
I know.
Oh, but there are lots of good companies other than GW.
Does I got this Space Marine pop, you know, the pop figures with the big heads that do all the. I got the grey standard intercessor, and I painted that in my homebrew chapter. Does that count? That's not technically Games Workshop, but it is
borderline.
It's the same IP.
Yeah, but they don't get sued for it because it's on license. That's the difference.
It's licensed, yeah. It's licensed.
So
the He-Man game, yes.
Yeah.
Richard just pointed out, the He-Man game. That's also by the same company that made the Dragon. That looks really, really good, and I really do want to paint those miniatures. But again, it's just adding to this massive pile of stuff that needs to be painted.
Yeah. I actually got a few quite cool miniatures that Josh printed out for me. On a, I think it's a 3D printer, something, very fancy. And I also got something from, it's another company called Sigmund Games.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody else know about them, but I bought some Halloween themed models that I intend to paint up at the end of next month if I can get around to it. So.
And will these models be painted for this Halloween or next Halloween?
Well, we'll see. I certainly hope that I'll be able to do a little bit of Halloween theme painting this year, because I really, really, really love Halloween. I know a lot of people's like, oh, it's such an American holiday, but I was like, yeah, well, but it's so dark and it's so cold. I need something to look forward to, so Halloween it is. So yeah, lots of candles and spooky things and cakes and miniature paintings. So yeah.
Yeah, all the Halloween stores have been open for a couple of weeks in the States now. And people will start decorating the houses already. It's a big deal over there.
Is Halloween a big deal in Denmark then? Do you go mad for it?
It's getting more and more. I think people are a bit like, some people love it, some people hate it because, oh, it's just another one of those American holidays that are taking over, and some people have really embraced it. But I do see it more and more in the stores that you can buy Halloween decorations and cakes and trick-or-treat sweets, so lots of costumes. But the thing is that people are a bit so-so because we have our own Halloween in Denmark. It's in February. It's the old Danish tradition. So people are like, well, why should we have another one? We already have our own. So, but our Halloween is a bit more like a carnival. It's a bit more festive in a way of colorful. It's not spooky. So you can kind of vary them like that. So you have the spooky one, and then you have like more festive fun for the small kids as well. So yeah, but it's kind of like the one we got in February. It's a bit of a mix between Halloween, carnival, and like piñata bashing. So, yep, it's a bit of everything.
So, go on, Don.
On your own, man. On your own.
No, I've lost my train of thought. You go.
Awkward silence.
I'm like, well, did I put you off your question or something?
No, it happened. I'm just empty space up here. That's all it is.
Yeah, I have that sometimes too.
I think I was going to actually nick a question that Dunk always asks, and this intrigues me. But you did say that you listen to a fair bit of music when you're painting.
This question
I feel it needs. It's a regular. If you're going to regularly plug Boltstorm, we need to ask this question as well.
Oh, I know what's coming.
The Beatles, yes or no? There you go. Let's get it out.
Is it the Beatles? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like the Beatles?
I do.
Yes. No.
Yes.
There you go. See, we've got one.
I do. Sorry, guys.
No. Sorry, it's Dunk that hates the Beatles because Ringo Starr did something to him when he was a baby. Rich says, is Nymph into Lego being Danish? Don't know if that's borderline racist, Rich, but go for it, mate.
Lego, well, yeah, when I was a kid. Sorry, not so much anymore. I think it's pretty cool. It looks amazing. Some of the things they build is just blowing my mind. And I think that Legoland is pretty awesome. But I don't have any Lego in my house.
I wonder if we'll ever get Lego 40K.
Oh, God, I don't know.
But there's people that have gone out there and done their own, like, dreadnoughts and stuff and spaceships out of it all. I'm a grown man child. I love a bit of Lego still. And it helps that I've got a kid that I can pass it on to now and be like, you like Lego too, because I like Lego and I will buy this for you, but really it's for me.
It's for me.
Yeah.
I think that's
which is the best Legoland? Because now I'll probably get this wrong and get ridiculed, but I'm sure there's a Legoland in Windsor as well. So have you been to both, and which one's the best Legoland?
Oh, no, I haven't. Not, no.
I've been to neither, so I don't know.
We got Legoland here in Denmark in Jutland, but yeah, that's it. That's the only one I know.
This is a question really aimed at Dunk. Bob says, was the Ringo Starr thing that he stopped voicing Thomas the Tank Engine?
Dunk's wandered off, or never.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, he's just a blank screen. I don't know if he's there or he's not there.
I will be honest.
I just think there was an incident when he was young with Ringo Starr, and he now forever hates the Beatles. Every time he hears Yellow Submarine, he winces. That's all I can say.
No, I don't like Yellow Submarine. No, it's what I don't mind the Beatles, but I don't like Yellow Submarine.
And Rich says he's guilty. I don't know what he's guilty of.
I think it's Lego.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's fair enough. I mean, hey, you never grow too old for these things, do you? I mean, Lego, Disney, Warhammer, whatever.
Never big into Lego as a kid. It was my brother's thing, not my thing. I was never really into Lego as a kid. So.
No, I was the kid that was into near enough everything. So when I got my first job, I worked at a Toys R Us just as Lego Star Wars stuff started coming out. I had to really rein in all my bad spending habits because I would have bought everything.
Apparently, it's a more expensive hobby than Warhammer if you're really into it. I know someone who's really into it, and he says it's megally expensive. He's been to Warhammer World, and he's like, "Oh, I like the stuff, but I can't afford to do that and Lego."
Yeah, I know what you mean. When I went to London here not too long ago, in the airport, I was just browsing around waiting for the gate to be announced, and there's a Lego store in the Copenhagen airport. I was just really curious because they had this like Disney princessy castle. I was like, "Ooh, that's so cute!" So I just had to go and look, and then I saw the price. I was like, "No, it's no, I better walk away."
All the good,
oh my goodness,
licensed stuff is ridiculously priced. I think.
Oh yeah.
I know the Harry Potter stuff is really expensive. You can get the Hogwarts train, but is it something like £1,000 or something? Absolutely
it's
ridiculous.
Insane. It's just like, no, that's not happening.
They've got the boat from Jaws coming out soon, and it's the end set of Jaws where the shark's half eating the boat, and it looks absolutely amazing. But I know that's going to be at least £250-300.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I would love to get it, but at the same time, if I came home with that, I would get murdered. So.
Oh, but it's not for you. Just remember that it's not for you.
No, that one definitely would be for me.
Rich, when you say in the chat you've got it, do you mean you've got the Hogwarts train?
I think that's what he means. Yeah.
Is it 1,000? I don't know if it's £1,000, Bob. I just heard it was. I've never been into a Lego shop to price it up. I'll be honest.
They've got.
I know the Death Star was about 800 quid, and there was a Millennium Falcon that was about 1,100 quid as well.
Yeah.
My mate bought that one.
Then they've got a Super Star Destroyer. I think it's just about roughly the same size as the one for Armada side, and that's like 500 quid.
Oh, Bob, you only paid 150 for mine. Didn't have to build it.
Yeah, there you go. Imagine losing a bit of that. I'd be raging. Oh, there you go. Richard's got the Princess Castle.
Is that for you, Rich? Do you live in that? Have you built it? Is it life size?
No.
Right, guys, I need to jump off here tonight. You'll pick up my son from egg chasing. Nymph. It's been absolutely fantastic having you on.
You didn't ask the other main question. You didn't ask about female space marines.
Yeah, so the last question I'm going to ask you: Are you pro female space marine or anti female space marine?
Oh dear, I think there's a very short and a very long answer to that one. I don't know which one you got time for. The short one is just like, no, I'm not a fan.
There you go.
Okay.
Cool.
Again,
there you go. That's it.
Thanks very much for coming on. Absolutely fantastic having you on. It's been such a great podcast having you on, especially having our first female on as well, and our first international guest as well. So you've ticked 2 boxes there. Do you to Egypt have anything to say before we pass over to Nim's final words?
We like picking your son up from rugby, do we?
No.
You can walk.
What?
No, go on.
Is there anything that you would like to pass on, Nymph, that you've picked up in the hobby? Any last thoughts from yourself before we call it quits?
Ooh. Oh wow, I'm still like crazy new and still learning, so me passing on advice is a bit but something that really helps me improving is that it's like don't be afraid of just, you know, starting the big model. I know that a lot of people say, oh, well, I can't really paint that big, gorgeous model that I bought. I really love it, but I need to get better before I can paint it. It's like, no, don't do that. Because if you're really passionate, if you're really excited, if you're really motivated about painting that model, you will learn because you will look at techniques, you will improve because you're so careful. You want to learn, you want to do it. So just jump into it. I do that, and sometimes I fuck up, but hey, I learn from it every single time. So I think that's the only advice I can give.
That's good. That's good advice. That's great. Thank you.
My only advice would be don't eat yellow snow because it's not a lemon slushy.
No, it doesn't taste like it, does it?
Again, guys, thanks for everybody.
There's a bit of mission there.
Thanks for everybody for all your input tonight. Thanks to the lobby for their questions. And next week we've got a first cosplayer on Forge of Runes as well. Yeah. So hopefully you're all clear for next week. Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.